What a game. Honestly, I don't know if Marc Rogers was a gigantic mistake. What on earth has he done there?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your host for today, Mr. Y. Callum.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Born Bow with me, Y. Callum, and I'll be honest with you, loads and loads has happened since I've been away. Let's start with the ins column of the transfer window. We have signed a total of 7 players in the January transfer window. Some of them not notable enough to talk about, I'll be completely honest with you, but some of them very notable indeed. The first one we talked about in the last video, Juan Manuel Baran has come into centre-half. The big Uruguayan has had a decent start to life at Eastbourne. I think he is our best defender, but the fact he doesn't speak the language yet means he's held back slightly, which is obviously a theory I've always had within the game. I think once he learns English properly, he could be really, really good next season. I decided that we had two great strikers in Giuseppe and in Tamandu. However, we never really had an option if they weren't playing well. So I brought in Aidan Phillips. Now, we spent £210,000 on Aidan Phillips, bringing him in from Spezia. I'll be honest, his contract was up in the summer, but I thought, you know what? We don't need him in the summer. We need him now. If we're going to go up, we need to bring in these players. He's got 5 goals in 10 games, which isn't bad at all. He's got a lot of pace about him. He's a bit more well-rounded. There's an argument to say he is, on paper, our best striker. However, you know, it's Tamandu and Giuseppe. You've got to give them a chance as well. Next up is a real snip. For £25,000, we brought in Leo Connell from Arsenal. He's 22 years of age. He's 6'4". He currently plays for us in like the half-back role, but we're playing around with where we play him. He could also play centre-half, although his heading isn't the best. He's very tall, so his jumping reach is really, really good. I like him a lot. You know, he's a real presence in the team. He's played 7 games for us so far, and he's looking pretty solid. We've also signed a few loans, you know, here and there, who've not really featured that much. However, we have made a major transfer. The players were kicking off. They said we have not got enough strength in goal, which I think is probably fair. We had Kolawole, but Lenny Roach obviously was unavailable because he retired. But I thought, right, we got 2 things we can do here. We could either bring in a backup or we could go big and sign a new one. So I decided, right, we're going to bring in a backup. Kolawole's absolutely fine. Let's bring in a backup. I brought one in and they didn't care. It didn't make any difference to the promise. So I went, right, we're going to have to buy a keeper who's going to take Kolawole's place. Sentimentality is finally out the window. We brought in Marc Rogers. Now, Marc Rogers, for me, in goal, looks really small. He's 6 foot tall, but in the match engine, he looks about 5'4". He's had a really, really mixed start to life here at Eastbourne, and I don't know whether that's because of him or because of the formation. I'm not 100% sure. 14 goals conceded in 7 games. It does not make for good reading for the Irishman. He's had no clean sheets at all. We've spent loads of money on him. The spotlight is really on Marc Rogers. But Callum, how on earth have you afforded over £2 million on a goalkeeper when you're really struggling financially? It's a cracking question. Thank you for asking. The first reason is we have sold Keane McLean. Now, Keane McLean was a player who didn't really feature that much at all for us in the last season or so, apart from when he did this on his last game for us. I'll be honest, I did react to that one. I wasn't recording at the time, but I thought, you've got to see it again. And I pretended, and I think the acting was really, really good. But Keane McLean has signed on one of those bizarre transfers I've seen. He went to Doncaster, who were playing in the league below us. We sold him for £180,000, which I actually think is a really good deal for us. And they gave him a 6-year contract and they've basically not played him. It might be one of the worst transfers I've ever seen. But I know what you're saying, 180k, that doesn't cover the 2 million. You're right. But Harry Richardson has also gone to Port Vale, £450,000. Just didn't really light up the world, if I'm honest with you, Harry Richardson. I don't know what it was about him. I don't know whether it was the position I was playing him in. I'm not sure. I was really excited about him when we signed him. But he just didn't jump out to me, Harry Richardson. And I thought, you know what? He's not really playing that often. We have got options in central midfield. Let's cash in. And we did. And he's gone for £450,000. Might be one we look back on and go, maybe we shouldn't have, but hopefully my plan is, you know, we'll jump and we'll forget about Harry. But Callum, that's still not £2 million. I know. How about a 1.5 million sale of Tavon McLeod? Now, I don't get this one. I'll be honest. America have been interested in him for about 2 years now, and they keep saying, oh, well, you know, is that transfer windows don't quite align, so they've never really gone for him. Anyway, January transfer window came along, and someone inquired about him. So I said, okay, give me 1.5 million pounds. That's his value. Give it to me. And they gave it to me. I was like, wow. And then he turned him down. I was gutted, so I offered him out again. And a different American team offered 1.5 million pounds. I accepted. He turned them down. I was like, you've got to be joking. Because I kept sort of mentally spending this money already. And he's 29 years old as well when we sold him. And then I thought, right, one final go. Let's offer him out for 1.5 million pounds. And 3 teams offered 1.5 million. I thought, fantastic. Surely one of them has got to offer him the wage that he wants. Toronto did. They offered him $7,000 a week. And somehow we've sold this defender here for 1.5 million pounds. I really have got no idea how. He was absolutely fine for us, like absolutely fine. He played quite a lot of games last season. He's been in and out of the team this season, to be completely honest. We bought him for free. We sold him for 1.5 million. I was talking about one of the worst transfers of all time in Keane McLean. This might be one of the best we've done, and it's accommodated and facilitated transfers for us, like Marc Rogers, who, as you can see, is having a great time. It's also worth noting, importantly, we got an away replay at West Ham's ground in the FA Cup. We lost 4-2 to them. We gave them a good game, with predominantly a B side, to be completely honest with you. And this was a few months ago now, back in January, and that obviously got us a lot of money as well. 90,000 people watching us. I think it was something like 1.5 million pounds we got from this tie purely from gate receipts. So that, alongside the McLeod sale, and you can see McLeod was actually playing in that game, alongside that sale and the Richardson sale and the Keane McLean sale, meant we did have a little bit more money. So the financial output does look a lot better. Now, don't get me wrong, we're back in the red. We just seem to be running in the red all the time. I just don't know how to get out of it. Financially, we're not competing at all. Our wages is the lowest in the league by a distance as well. So it's not like, you know, we're spending big bucks here. We are in a better position than we would have been, though. And we have spent money, which is obviously come back to hurt us. But my plan was to spend money so we got promoted. Has it worked? As it stands, no, it hasn't. Although we have a game in hand on Wigan, the last few results we've been having have been really poor. We went on one of the most hideous runs of form I've had in a very long time, potentially ever since being Eastbourne manager, where we were flying. We were up right near the top of the division. And then this happened. During December and the start of January, we just forgot how to win a game of football. It was absolutely devastating and really hard to play through, to be completely honest with you. It's one of those where you're like, you know what? Fine, I'm done. I'll see you in FM26. But I thought, no, I'm going to have a go. It was actually at night I was playing this, and I thought, I'll play one more game. I tweaked it slightly, and we beat Crewe 4-0 away. And that was a real turning point for me, I think. However, the form hasn't massively been amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, we haven't been losing anywhere near as much as we were before, but we're not winning enough either. We don't seem to be able to hold on to leads. Despite that fantastic 14-1 friendly win. But this is the one we've literally just played in. We lost 4-2 to Leicester. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, well, that's not a big of a deal. They're Leicester. Let me take you back to the league table. Wait till you see Leicester. Yeah, we lost 4-2 to bottom of the league. So that leaves us with this run of fixtures. Wolves, Wigan, Portsmouth, Lincoln and Barnsley. And frankly, this week alone could decide our fate. Wolves are today, they're 8th in the division, a good side as well, also fighting it out for a playoff position just like us. And then importantly, at the weekend, we have got Wigan, who are in 6th place. So to give you that context in the league, Wolves 5 points off us. It's looking unlikely for Wolves, isn't it? However, if we're to beat those and go on to 68 points and then beat Wigan and go on to 71, suddenly we could get there. Lose either of the games, and I think it is curtains for another season. So naturally, we are going to try and surprise Wolves. I have been training this formation for a little while, but we haven't properly started with it in a game yet. And we're going to today. We're going to give it a go. Marc Rogers will start in goal with a back three of Baran, Leo Connell and Willian, with Leo Connell as that all-important libero. So he will be filling all of these spots, even maybe at times going beyond Gomez in there. There's a temptation to bring Gomez into there, which is something we could maybe look at, but then we'd leave a massive open space. If you look at the analysis, which is something that's interesting, you'll notice the red pockets are actually here, and that's because we're still sticking with these inverted wing-backs to try and flood the middle of the pitch. We are focusing out wide in attacking areas, but yes, defensively we want to have that protection there. Jordan Kiely and Baden Horncastle both had really, really good seasons, lots of goal involvements for both of them, and Giuseppe will be playing up front this time with Aidan Phillips, who's on slightly better form than Tamendu at the moment, but it's just nice to have that rotation option there if we need it. Interestingly here, Wolves playing with a very, very narrow attacking system and then a lot back defensively. If you can't fully see it, there you go. A lot back defensively. So could be a game of two defences here. I think if we stretch it enough, it could be quite interesting. I don't know how these formations are going to work against each other, actually. But here we go, it's a game in hand for us both, so nobody else playing. An early corner for O'Connell, whips it in. Willian hits the post. Oh, Contreras just about clears it away. What a chance early on there for Willian. And now, Adowa for Wolves, Burgos into Bravo. They'll have a lot of ball around there, won't they? Contreras and Butler should cut that one out and does. Willian now into Lee Butler. Butler back to Gomez. He's our entire midfield in this game. Botawala now drives. Jordan Botawala through to Jordan Kiely. It's a poor ball, Low, from Jordan to Jordan. And now Low has the run on our defence. Low taking on Baran. And Baran, I mean, that is a fantastic tackle. There's no part of me that thinks that's a penalty there. And Marc Rogers, who has had his question marks massively, has a chance to be a hero early on. And he isn't. Wolves are 1-0 up. This is an absolute disaster. Corner here. Can we get back into it immediately? Horncastle's ball isn't the best. Low clears it away, but no one will be there. And so our striker, Phillips, chases it all the way back. Baran, who gave away that penalty, something to prove now. I mean, how is it a penalty? Phillips now is all the way up front. He's gone the whole way. Phillips whips it to Kiely, who keeps it alive. Horncastle hits the post. It's headed away. We've hit the woodwork twice, but we're 1-0 down, and that is all that matters. Horncastle will now take this second corner of the highlight. Whips it to the front post. It's headed away initially. Phillips back to Baden, who might be offside here. He's not. Play continues. Botawala now. Get the ball in, boys. Baran. He's twisting, he's turning, it's over. Throw in for Cheek. The cheek of them to go 1-0 up like this, Wolves. Unbelievable. It doesn't even matter for them. They're not going to get playoffs. We probably aren't either, but they've got a player called Diaper, which is hilarious. He's played it through to Contreras. Low, it's 2-0. That is it, isn't it? Honestly, I have had enough. I've had enough of FM24. I've had enough of Eastbourne. I've had enough of everything. I am sick to death of this. I know contextually it may seem like a massive overreaction, but I just feel like both seasons we've started really, really well, and we've just died a death in the middle and not recovered for it on both times. And this, I mean, we're not going to win this game now, are we, being 2-0 down this early in the game? And, I mean, we'll be 8 points behind Wigan, so the Wigan game is almost pointless. As Phillips plays it through to Giuseppe, he's kept it alive. Giuseppe, I love that man more than anything. That was late. It must be noted, by the way, throughout all of this, Giuseppe is having an unbelievable season. He's in the 30s for goals. And, you know, it was a season where I genuinely thought question marks would be over him. He scored 20-odd last season, which for him was quite a poor season. We've just given him a new deal. Aidan Phillips is injured, as I'm talking about this. Tamendu will now come on. That's far from ideal, by the way. Tamandu's a good replacement, though. And, yeah, Giuseppe still coming up trumps for us, which is just crazy, isn't it, really? As Butler throws it into Gomez. I've changed the director cam, by the way. Just thought I'd mix it up. Horncastle, you might have already noticed that. Into Gomez. Go on, Gomez. Go on. Oh, he's hit the... You are joking me. We've hit the woodwork 3 times. Botawala now. Keeps it alive. Jordan, please. We're not in a point now where performances matter. It's all about results. Hitting the woodwork 3 times gets us 0 goals. So I couldn't care less. Baran comes forward. Baran. Come on, Baran. Go on. Cuts it back. Botawala. Interesting ball. It's off to Lee Butler. Lee Butler! Come on. Oh, it's a brilliant comeback. And this is the beauty of the inverted wing backs. That's inverted wing back to inverted wing back there. Our centre half is the right winger. He plays it back to Botawala, who takes a good touch, chips it to the edge of the box where, of course, our left wing back is, and he rifles it past O'Brien in the Wolves goal. After 35 minutes, we are right back in this game. However, the next chance looks to be Wolves as Horncastle cuts out that free kick really well there. Knocks it into Jordan Kitely now on the right-hand side. Can Jordan Kitely do anything with this? I mean, the men have flooded back here. Botawala into Gomez now. Gomez over to Butler, the goal scorer. Baden Horncastle, can he? He knows how to beat a man, so he crosses it towards Giuseppe, please. Oh, it's headed away. Kitely now picks up the pieces. Kitely crosses towards Tamanto! Love this game. I've always loved it. FM in a nutshell. I mean, FM in a nutshell. Within the same half. It's not even the same, just the same game. It's the same half of football. I've come from hating the game to loving it again. Tamandu off the bench. It's a brilliant ball in from Kitely. He rises highest to head home. I don't think he's scored in a little while either, Tamandu. So that's a big one for him. And we go 3-2 up after being 2-0 down. It's a fantastic comeback. And I know what's about to happen. Headed away. Kitely heads away again. Oh, hello. Giuseppe. Come on, Giuseppe. Come on, Giuseppe. I mean, a fourth. Could I be greedy? You know what? I'm going to be greedy. Let's get a fourth, lad, shall we? Baran. Over to Kitely now, who comes short for that one. Botawala. See what I mean? We're occupying those central positions. You feel like, with the way the formation looks, we'll be really open and set up. We've got loads of men there. Gomez, brilliant ball. Horncastle, please, Baden. Please, Baden. Please, Baden! What a game. What a game. What a ball this is by Gomez, by the way. Finds Baden, who's in behind the fullback, who runs inside. I thought he was going to cross. He didn't. He smashed it past O'Brien. And at half-time, it looks like we're going to be 4-2 up. Wow. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible comeback, isn't it? Let's face it. I was down and out in the 18th minute. We're not down and out anymore. I just went downstairs to get a parcel and opened the door and smashed my hip into the door. It's not a good sign. Well, nothing's happened in this second half so far. I've tried to be quite reserved with the change. We have taken a striker off and brought another into midfield now, just to rest Giuseppe as much as anything, but also to give us a little bit more stability defensively. Hopefully, anyway, we'll see, won't we? Smith, one of the substitutes, gives it over to Baden Horncastle. Spearman, who's one of the loanees, who I didn't talk about. He's on loan from Bournemouth, who are currently right at the top of the division. He's out of contract to the end of the year, so you never know, but we haven't seen anything of him yet. This is probably the most I've seen so far, actually. Horncastle whips it in. It's a poor ball, cleared away, only as far as Kevin Smith. Over to Docker now. Docker shoots, and it's over the bar. Wow, I mean, that is truly a magnificent comeback. I'm over the moon that nothing happened in that second half. Could not care less. We seal the 4-2 win in our game in hand, and now we go into the game against Wigan with a chance. See, I think the internal turmoil I've had in my head throughout this save is keeping players to keep it interesting. I think if it's easy every season to sort of rotate quite substantially, especially as you jump up the divisions. But I thought, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to try and keep these characters alive. We're going to try and keep these players. Obviously, we'll add a sprinkle of new player every now and again. However, in the main, we'll keep the same core together. It's got to this point where, you know, we're probably less than 20 days away from FM26. It's now or never. It's now or never. And as long as, in my eyes, as long as we do keep a core there, I'm happy. But I do think we've had to go for success over sentimentality at this point during the save, especially from a content perspective. Do I really want the Eastbourne save to end in the Championship? No, I don't. So I'm desperate for us to have that showdown with Slough if we can. And I mean, really, if you look at the team, there's still a lot there that you'll recognise. William, Botawala, Butler, Kitely, Horncastle, Giuseppe, to name a few. A big one is Kolawole dropping out, isn't it? And I think Kolawole, 330 games to the club. The fact he has got us all the way up these divisions is genuinely amazing. And I mean, he hasn't looked out of his depth in the Championship, I don't think. We're conceding a lot of goals. I don't think that's necessarily his fault. The lads asked for a new goalkeeper. I've given them a new goalkeeper. Do I think he's necessarily been performing better? Not really. I mean, he's on average conceding 2 goals per game and he hasn't got a clean sheet. Wouldn't it be nice if he got a clean sheet, I don't know, perhaps against Wigan right now, so that he can see it? We're 7th on 68 points. Wigan are 6th on 73. It's to be noted that Sheffield Wednesday are also on 73, so a drop points against Watford could bring them into it. They're the two we're looking for, but ultimately today, If we win, we go on to better goal difference and 71 points. Wigan would remain on 73, and it would make the run-in, the final 3 games, incredibly tasty. Just completely unrelated, in case anyone was interested. DBC has been absolutely diabolical since being here. He hasn't scored in the league. I mean, he didn't score for 16 games for Bristol City and 18 for us. He did actually score in the FA Cup, which I think broke a 40-game goal drought for him. He has been really, really bad. He's on the bench today. It's not often you see a real manager managing a team anymore, but Archie Stevens is very much a real person, unless that's the best regen face I've ever seen. We take on Wigan. They're in the playoffs, we are not. Will that be the case at the end of the season? Let's find out. Okay, we have our first highlight of the first half. Horncastle gives it away though. Campo Alzamora, great name that. Traore. Now into Nunes. Torres now knocks it over to Rodriguez. Looking good here, Wigan down the left-hand side. Takes on Kylie, whips it. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I don't know if Marc Rogers was a gigantic mistake. What on earth has he done there? Traore taps it home. £2 million I've spent on this goalkeeper. What is he doing in the biggest game of our season? Oh no, it's a decent cross. What has he done there? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm seething. I'm absolutely seething. We've got a free kick here. I can't. I mean, do we get Kolawole back in? I almost feel like we do. I almost feel like we get him back in for the next game after that. That was so bad. Horncastle now gives it into Tamandu. Tries to find Giuseppe. It's a really poor ball. Torres now. Rodriguez into Nunes. Torres brings it forward for Wigan. Nunes is in. Could be curtains. It's game over. It's 2-0 already. Okay, I mean, we've got to do another Wolves here, and I find that incredibly unlikely that we've got it in our locker, but we'll have to see. O'Connell with the long ball. A goal now would be nice, though, wouldn't it? Kylie, please. Jordan, oh my word. I tell you what, it's 17 minutes in, and Jordan Kitely has hit a deflected shot from the edge of the box. I mean, it's a bit of a nothing free kick, really. This Tamandu's done really well to keep it alive. Jordan Kitely took his time, took a touch. It hits the defender, goes past Slater. And suddenly the Priory Lane fans have got something to celebrate. And I tell you what, it's brought me back up as well, because I was quite low then. 22 minutes on the clock, and there's another chance for Wigan. They'll be scared. They will have seen what we did to Wolves. We'll know what we did to Wolves. Could we do it again? I mean, it would be incredibly unlikely, surely, as Bowen now has the ball into Traore. We've won it back through Willian. Tamandu. Giuseppe loses that to Marchetti, though. Galassi. He's going to lose it here, isn't he? Rodriguez, come on, boys. Keep pressing. Keep pressing. Win this ball. Win this ball. Jordan Botawala wins it back. We won it more than them. Giuseppe gets the ball now down the right side, crosses towards Tamandu. Oh, it's over the bar. It's a big chance for 2-2, but we look like we're up for this. I've told them to press more. I want to see it. I want to see us trying to win this game of football, because ultimately at the moment we're down and out. Baden Horncastle takes on his man and loses it out. Campo Alzamora. 5 minutes of the first half to go as Traore brings it forward. Nunes back to Marchetti. Galassi into Rodriguez. There's a challenge there to be made there, Botawala. Torres through to Rodriguez. He's in behind, and that is an absolute sucker punch. Can Marc Rogers save anything is a question going through my head at the moment. I'm not putting all the blame on him, but I'll tell you what, a lot of it is on him. £2 million well spent, eh? Rodriguez, this is why I never spend money. Torres played it through to Rodriguez. He looks tiny in that goal, doesn't he? Oh, my words. Corner just before half-time. Kitely whips it in. Baran! You are joking me. He's hit the post. Willian heads it on. Schuster with the corner for Wigan. He goes short to Rodriguez, who scored that all-important third goal. Schuster now coming forward. Schuster, I am so angry. I'm tempted to bring on an outfield player in goal. Like, what's the point in him even being there? Well, in the game we had to win, we couldn't be further from winning. Absolutely diabolical. I don't know whether I've got it wrong. I'm not sure what it was. We've both had 6 shots in the game. They've had 5 on target. We've had 3, and they've scored 4 of their 5. It's just not worked, and obviously I'm going to have to change things at half-time. I've directly had a go at Marc Rogers there and said, you've not been good enough so far, get it together. I mean, it's too little too late, let's face it. Even if he has an absolute worldie now, we've got to score 4 goals. There's a chance straight away. We've made a triple sub at halftime. Docker, one of the changes, takes a free kick and it's just over the bar. We've also brought in Colin Mason and Beckham Ramsey. Honestly, it's too little too late. The new formation was, worked against Wolves. It has not worked here today. We've gotten to a more normal back four with 3 in midfield, an attacking mid and 2 strikers. But I'm just so disappointed. We've all had this feeling when you've got a whole season, you work towards what you want to earn, and then it falls short just so near to the end of the season. We need Docker to score, and it's a brilliant save from Slater. Do you see that, Mark? That's a goalkeeper doing his job. Jordan Kiteley now. Look, I'm bitter now. I'm being bitter. Jordan Kiteley whips it in. Willian knocks it to Giuseppe on the edge. Willian shoots, and Slater saves again. Mark? Have you seen it? Marc Marchetti now out to Galassi, chips it to Traore. In fairness, the front 3 of Wigan have looked really, really dangerous every time they get the ball. It couldn't be much worse, could it? So I'm going to bring on DBC because he hasn't scored a league goal in about 30-something games. So naturally, he'll get his goal today. Here he is. He's through and doesn't get to the ball. Slater, of course, doing his goalkeeping job. Mark, are you seeing this? They're the reason. That's the reason. He's made 3 saves there. You haven't made any yet. Schuster, all the way back to Slater. Look, and he can use his feet, Marc. Marchetti, back to Slater. I'd love him to make a mistake now. It would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Bowen, into Schuster, Traore, Campo Alzamora. By the way, I'm gonna mention this because I don't know when else I will. Colin Mason has had such a good season. He's had a really, really good season. Considering I sort of brought him in, I was like, I probably shouldn't have done this. I think he's got something like 20-odd goal involvements, which is really good. We're about to see another goal. That was nice to see, wasn't it? We're losing 5-1. And, if it helps, Sheffield Wednesday are also winning. So I think mathematically, both of them, one of them has to lose every single game and we have to win every single game. And I'm going to stick this out there. I don't think we're going to do that. This video had the potential to be a really, really exciting one. And Wigan and Marc Rogers have decided that let's not make entertainment. Let's make a bore fest. I mean, genuinely now, you look at them, you look at the 2 goalkeepers. Marc Rogers is a better goalkeeper, isn't he? I'm not being silly here. Marc Rogers is a better keeper pretty much across the board. Anticipation and aerial reach Kolawole has over him. Outside of that, Marc Rogers looks like a decent goalkeeper. What have I done wrong? Relishes big matches, apparently. He relishes big matches. Did you not know what Wigan was? Right, I'm not saying this to chat. Why do I do this myself? I was thinking then, shall I just zoom on and just tell you at the end of the season where we finished? However, I've just checked Sheffield Wednesday's fixtures. They're playing 2nd place Preston, then they're playing 1st place Bournemouth. If they lost both of those games and we win both of our games, it then goes to the final day, doesn't it? Now, I know that depends on us winning both our games, but that's a bit ridiculous. Wigan, on the other hand, have 20th and 24th as well as 3rd. I think Wigan will get playoffs now. Sheffield Wednesday are now our target. May as well get back on the bad news train. That's what this sort of episode's feeling like now. Choo, Justin Briley left me. I can't believe it. My best friend, my Slough captain, my assistant manager since the very beginning has decided to go and be the assistant manager for Cardiff instead. I begged him to stay and he said, don't you beg me, get off the floor. And then just left. Just casually left for about $2,000 more a week, which I was really upset about. I was genuinely really upset about. But it doesn't end there because, of course, for finishing, the infamous Dean Bennett, Ickle. When you hear the ding, it's time for Ickle Bennett. Dean Bennett's done another goal. But perhaps he is never going to do another goal again. Ickle Bennett is retiring at the end of the season, 33 years of age. In fairness, I mean, he hasn't really featured that much at all since really the Vanarama National. He had the first season where he was absolutely exceptional, somehow scored 27 goals, and since then has been wildly out of his depth. He scored a penalty last season. He actually had 2 penalties as well, you can see there, and he did actually miss one of those. Yeah, another bit of bad news for you all. A save legend from Eastbourne will be departing. I'm going back to the old trusty formation with the half-back in there and the inverted wing-backs. Jack Elsom comes back in. He's had a knock, which obviously does not help us, but Jack Elsom is back in, not fully match fit. Believe it or not, I'm going to give Marc Rogers one more chance. We've spent so much money on him. I've had lots of goalkeepers in this save, mainly at Slough, who I've genuinely hated. Is Marc Rogers about to become one of them? It's as straightforward as this. We have to win, and Sheffield Wednesday and or Wigan have to lose, or else this is the end for us again. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, to remind you, playing Preston. Wigan are at home to Millwall. So you would expect Wigan to win. You would expect Preston to beat Sheffield Wednesday, but we will have to keep an eye on that as 11 minutes have gone. Nothing happening in any of the 3 games as it stands. We just need to see a little bit of a positivity, don't we? We've gotten behind in both of the games. As Sheffield Wednesday go 1-up at Preston, you've got to be joking. And unbelievably, Millwall go 1-0 up at Wigan. It's the other way round. We would not have expected that way. But ultimately, it means for nothing because we have not taken the lead here against Portsmouth. No shots on target from us as of yet. And a first highlight here. Tamandu into O'Connell, that half-back today. Kitely can't get there. O'Connell wins the header though. Giuseppe's in. Giuseppe. Oh, how's he missed? Prendergast with the save. You expect Giuseppe to score from there though. 40 minutes on the clock for the first highlight. It's pretty crazy as Horncastle whips in the corner. Oh, if the keeper had come for it as well there. Who does he think he is? Marc Rogers. Bit harsh. O'Connell. Kitely. Is he fouled? No, apparently not. It's a goal kick. That's the highlight. There's another highlight just before the break. Lambert now for Portsmouth. Pressed well here, and Horncastle may go all the way to Prendergast. He doesn't, but now he's left the right back completely open. Vecino, Horncastle wins that back on a booking. Bit of a worry. O'Connell over to Giuseppe's in. Giuseppe's in. Giuseppe's in. Giuseppe's in. 33rd goal of the season for the league's top goal scorer. Horncastle wins it back. O'Connell with this brilliant ball over the top. The defender gambled, the keeper gambled, and our captain gives us hope. So at half time, we are 1-0 up. Last time I checked, Wigan are losing, Sheffield Wednesday are winning. Corner here for Portsmouth. Sehic will take it. He plays it to the edge with Cousins. Cousins! Oh, come on. Wigan have equalised as well. Millwall are down to 10 men, but Preston have now equalised. Everyone's equalised in the second half. Unbelievably, Marc Rogers is in our 7.1. Preston have gone 2-1 up against Sheffield Wednesday. It still means nothing though for us because obviously we are at 1-1. There's a chance almost immediately. Beckham Ramsey into Gomez, who is for some reason is on the right-hand side, which is not what we asked him to do. Marquez loses it to Sehic and Vecino's through. This is not what we wanted to see. It's over the bar of Rogers. Please, Pompey, you've got nothing to play for. Please, we've got 5 minutes. It's ticking away. We've got attacking. This is it. How many minutes added on? 5 minutes added on. Is there anything at all? It doesn't look like it. You are joking. I mean, this is how it ends. This is how it ends. There's 15 seconds to go. Vecino knocks it long. They're in anyway. White. I'm not sure I can do another season of it. Yeah, well, there is confirmation. We're 8 points behind Sheffield Wednesday, so regardless of the fact they lost to Preston, it is over the season. We cannot catch them. Technically, Wolves and Norwich could catch us if we lost our last 2, but they're dead rubbers. Whether we finish 9th, 8th or 7th, I couldn't care less. We're not going up again, and we need to start again. I usually end the video by saying, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I don't. I hope you didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. And it's like I say, I genuinely don't know what to do now. I genuinely don't know what to do because the problem is we are far and away the worst team financially in the league. So it's so difficult to compete. And I mean, we're so close. But when you spend £2 million on a goalkeeper and he's that poor, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Do we just create a formation to stop team scoring and hopefully steal a goal through Giuseppe in each game? I don't know. I don't know if I'll see you on the next one. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll see you in FM26. Bye. Go on, give it to him. Give it to him. Oh.
When you hear the ding, it's time for Ickle Wickle Bennett.
Bennett's done another goal. Probably with his head, because it's... I messed it up, the last other one. When you hear the ding, it's time for Ickle Wickle Bennett. He signs off with a goal. It's a small solace, but we've got it anyway. See you, Ickle Wickle.